The Godfather 1972, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, is a landmark in American cinema and widely regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. Based on Mario Puzo's novel, it tells the tale of the powerful Corleone family, a mafia dynasty in New York City, and its head, Vito Corleone Marlon Brando. The story spans the late 1940s and early 1950s, weaving a complex narrative about family, power, loyalty, and the inevitable pull of violence. The film opens with a lavish wedding for Vito's daughter, Connie Corleone d'Oliashire. In Sicilian tradition, no request can be denied by the Don on his daughter's wedding day. Vito Corleone is approached by various petitioners seeking his help. A baker wants justice for his daughter, who was assaulted by two men, and a famous singer, Jenny Fontaine Al Martino, pleads for Vito's intervention in securing a movie role. Vito's solution is emblematic of his character using both power and the threat of violence to get what he wants. He instructs his consigliere, the heir, Tom Hagen Robert Duvall, to handle these matters. At the wedding, we meet Vito's three sons: Santino Sonny Corleone James Con, the hot-tempered eldest son and heir apparent; Fredo Corleone John Cazale, the weak and dim-witted middle son; and Michael Corleone Al Pacino, the youngest and the outsider, having distanced himself from the family business by serving in World War II and becoming engaged to Kay Adams Diane Keaton, a non-Italian woman. The true conflict begins when Virgil Salazzo, a narcotics dealer, approaches Vito with a proposal to invest in a heroin operation. Salazzo seeks the Corleones' political and legal protection in exchange for a share of the profits. Vito, who opposes involvement in the drug trade, refuses, reasoning that it would damage his political connections. Salazzo retaliates by arranging an assassination attempt on Vito. Though Vito survives, he is gravely wounded, thrusting the Corleone family into a crisis. With Vito incapacitated, Sonny takes over leadership of the family. This is a turning point for the Corleone family as they face threats from rival crime families eager to exploit their vulnerability. Salazzo kidnaps Tom Hagen and tries to negotiate through him, hoping to persuade Sonny to cooperate in the drug trade. Meanwhile, Michael, who had wanted nothing to do with the family's criminal enterprise, is drawn back in due to the escalating danger after visiting his father at the hospital and thwarting another attempt on Vito's life. Michael realizes he cannot escape his family's dark world. In one of the film's most pivotal scenes, Michael proposes a plan to assassinate Salazzo and Captain McCliskey Sterling Hayden, the corrupt police officer working for Salazzo. His family is initially skeptical of Michael's ability to carry out such a dangerous mission, but Michael insists he is the best choice because no one would suspect him. The scene where Michael kills both Salazzo and McCliskey in a small Italian restaurant is a masterclass in tension and storytelling. Afterward, Michael is forced to flee to Sicily to escape retribution. While Michael is in hiding, the Corleones wage an all-out war with their rivals, resulting in casualties on both sides. Sonny's fiery temper leads to his tragic downfall. In response to his sister Connie's domestic abuse at the hands of her husband Carlo Gianni Russo, Sonny furiously beats Carlo. Later, Carlo sets Sonny up by luring him into a trap, where he is ambushed and brutally killed at a toll booth by machine gun fire. This loss devastates Vito, and the film shifts to a more somber tone as he begins to reassess his role in the world of organized crime. Meanwhile, in Sicily, Michael falls in love with and marries a local woman, Apollonia Simonetta Stefanelli. However, his peaceful life is shattered when Apollonia is killed in a car bombing meant for him. This personal tragedy hardens Michael, transforming him from an idealistic outsider to someone fully prepared to embrace his family's violent legacy. In the United States, Vito recovers from his injuries and, devastated by the deaths of Sonny and Apollonia, seeks to make peace with the other crime families. He meets with the heads of the rival families and agrees to end the war, even though it means conceding to the drug trade, which he had initially opposed. Vito's primary concern is for his surviving family, particularly Michael's safe return. Michael eventually comes back to the U.S., now determined to lead the family and carry on his father's legacy. He reconnects with Kay, persuading her to marry him despite her initial reluctance to be part of his dangerous world. Over time, Michael asserts his authority, displaying a cold, calculating approach to leadership. He works to strengthen the Corleone family's position while planning revenge on those who wrong them. As Vito grows older and weaker, he offers advice to Michael, urging him to beware of treachery from within the family. Vito's death is quiet and poignant. He collapses while playing with his grandson in the garden, symbolizing the end of an era. Michael, now fully in control, is ready to exact his long-awaited vengeance. The film's climax is masterfully interwoven with the baptism of Connie's baby, as Michael becomes the child's godfather. He simultaneously orchestrates the brutal murders of the heads of the rival families in a sweeping, methodical purge. This scene highlights the duality of Michael's character, outwardly participating in a holy sacrament, while behind the scenes orchestrating violence and betrayal. With these killings, Michael consolidates power and eliminates all threats to the Corleone family. In the final moments of the film, Michael confronts his sister Connie after her husband, Carlo, is revealed to have conspired in Sonny's death. Carlo is killed by Michael's men, marking Michael's complete transformation into a ruthless mafia don. When Kay questions Michael about Carlo's death, he lies to her, cementing the distance between his old life and his new one. The film ends with Kay watching as Michael's capos and lieutenants gather to pledge their loyalty, formally acknowledging him as the new godfather. The door to Michael's office is closed in Kay's face, symbolizing her exclusion from Michael's world and his irreversible descent into the criminal underworld.